My name is Jim Mass. I am a U.S. Sales Director at Dextery. Been with the company now for 4 months. I reside just outside of Atlanta, Georgia, in a city called Cumming, Georgia. And then Todd Boone, who's on with us as well, is our Vice President of North America, and he resides in Nashville, Tennessee. So yeah, kind of want to jump into things right out of the gate. Dextery, so there's two components to Dextery. First being the AMR, the autonomous mobile robot, which you can see on the right-hand side, which I'll touch a little bit on a little bit later on. But the main value, the main star at Dextery is Dextery View, the data that is being collected by our autonomous robot. Always like to start off with a quick background on Dextery, kind of give you a background of where we got started and where we are now. So we actually got started in 2015, but we weren't called Dextery at the time. We were called Bots and Us. We are a much smaller robot, and our focus during that time was on the retail space. So you were able to find us in retail stores and within Heathrow, London Airport. And I actually still do believe that there is one robot still in commission today at the Heathrow Airport. And the purpose of it was to go out there to help travelers, assist them with directions or any type of information they needed about the airport. And then came 2020. We all know what happened in 2020. COVID hit. So our leaders, our founders had to redirect and find a new route for them to go. So in 2023, we relaunched at Dextery. And within the 2 years to where we are now, we have had tremendous success and tremendous growth. You can see we're at over 170 employees. We're in 8 different markets. We have a U.S.-based headquarters here in Nashville, Tennessee, and our have about 80 deployments worldwide as well, with 45 being about a mixture of 45 in the U.S. and 45 globally. Our main focus, is, our main market is the 3PL space. You can see some of the major 3PL logos we do have, from Maersk to GXO to Iron Mountain and ID Logistics. We're not just in one site with these customers, we're in multiple sites with these customers. And we're starting to see a huge push to different verticals, specifically within the manufacturing space, looking into automotive, specifically being a big player for Dextery as a solution to help improve their operations and improve their inventory counting. Kind of give you an idea of what Dextery's purpose is. We're here to transform the way that inventory is done, right? To give you that real-time visibility into your inventory. You can see from real-time visibility, you can see some success that Denso had with increasing their inventory accuracy to 99%. Unipart, having that 45% reduction in error reduction time. And then also from stock integrity, right? So save 47 hours per week on empty location checks. From Maersk, having a reduction, save 6 hours a day by quickly locating stock. And then from revenue opportunities as well, from NIDEC, recovering, over $174,000 in misplaced stock in 2 weeks. As I talked about before, there are 2 components to Dextery. Talk a little bit about the robot, the AMR that's on the right-hand side. This is the world's tallest autonomous robot. So this currently stands at about 10 feet tall, but it has the ability to extend up to 45 feet tall. It goes at a pace of about walking speed, so about 1 mile per hour, and it has the ability to scan 10,000 locations an hour. So that's able to collect data 24/7 on your inventory within the warehouse. This is fully autonomous, no disruption to your operations. It uses a combination of LiDARs, computer vision, and cameras. So we have the ability to check inventory locations, whether it be single deep, double deep. We can do block stack or bulk storage. And we have the ability to do pick face as well on floor level. We operate with 99% accuracy, and we're able to optimize with full visibility. And as I talked before, that second component being the real true star of Dextery, which is where the data lives, that real-time data, which also you're able to go into. We provide you with a digital twin of your warehouse. We're able to dive in deeper into those aisles, pull up that aisle, look straight onto that aisle. You're able to see various types of pictures of the aisle. You're able to see, what to correct, the errors and the warnings, based on your inventory. So wrong product in the wrong location, empty locations, and we're able to provide you that data in real time. So we could scan 10,000 locations an hour. So if you have a 1,000,000 square foot warehouse, we could do a full scan of the warehouse within a day. So it's really, fully optimizing and providing you that real value in, scanning the warehouse fully autonomously. And, as I talked about, we gave you photos of each one of those locations. So you're able to dig deeper into what that error is by clicking on the location. It pulls up the location. You're able to see exactly, what the error was. So your dummy up is saying one barcode is supposed to be here, but we found that this is an empty location, and we flagged that and put that in as a task for you to go out and resolve. And then, what I always like to finish up on is a quick video to give you an idea of what Dextery truly is. So let's
a quick little show of hands, if y'all can do like just a clappy reaction here. Like, how many people knew about Dextery before tonight? Just a handful. Okay. If you didn't know, do the emoji with the little monocle going on. Oh, there we go. Oh, a lot more monocles than not monocles. So sweet. Okay, it looked like about 70% of folks, this was a good introduction into Dextery. You are all systems go.
Awesome. All right. Well, hi, everybody. My name's Keegan. I'm an executive sales representative here at Terminal Industries. I've been in this industry for, I'd say, about 5 years now, providing yard management systems and now yard operating systems to some of the largest companies here in the United States. I want to keep it a little bit lighter, so it's not going to be a full-on sales pitch today. I just want to talk about, who we are, where this industry is going, and kind of where we see it ending up. So just to start, Terminal is backed and founded by 4 of the largest shippers here in the world: Prologis, Ryder, NFI, and Lineage, and backed by 8VC, one of the most prolific investors here in the logistics space, with one mission: to make the goods flow better, faster, cheaper, day in and day out. To leverage the most cutting edge technology like computer vision, AI, machine learning, deep integrations, in building the yard operating system of the future. Currently, we provide services for companies like Coca-Cola, HP, Ryder, and NFI. And our whole business model is to maximize throughput and to gain better data accuracy. And so why are we doing this? Well, if you think about it, and if any of you guys are familiar, the yard is kind of a technology chasm or a black hole, whatever you want to call it. I've stood in facilities at shipping gates, watching companies just stick sticky notes on trailers and watch them float into the abyss. But inside the 4 walls of the warehouse, they have warehouse management systems, they have robotics, automations going, trying to scrape together every last second, every last inefficiency, just to save a couple of dollars here and there. And over the road, with transportation management systems and telematics systems, to gain visibility over these assets as they travel from one destination to another. But the yard has largely been forgotten. If we look here, adoption, we think is somewhere sub 25%. And there's a lot of reasons for that. If you're unfamiliar with a yard management system or yard operating system, they're replacing a lot of pen and paper, radios, manual processes. You can think of, there's some guy, fictional character, we'll call him Greg, who's managing the yard, checking in, checking out tractors and assets manually into these facilities, putting on whiteboards, using pen and paper, like I said, or eventually Excel documents, right? All of this is largely manual. And I'd say for the better part of a decade after that, yard management systems came along, right? So those could be like process-driven systems that they're focusing on digitizing the process, providing screens for check-in, check-out, to provide move management, dock management, shipping schedules, and pretty rudimentary reports. Hey, this is what happened. This is who did it. This is when they did it. But all that data still needed to be exported, put into a Power BI or into Excel for further analysis. Then came like RFID-enabled solutions, right? RFID-enabled solutions were great for inside the warehouse, but outside the warehouse, they presented a ton of issues, right? They're pretty cost prohibitive. You had to put them on every single one of your assets in order for it to be effective. If you didn't own your own fleet, you had to get removable RFID tags, and that ended up not really being worth the squeeze. I talked to a lot of companies in my past that were, moving away from those solutions and kind of regressing back into a process-driven solution. So now comes along AI, machine learning, and computer vision that is providing a cost-efficient way to automate some of these things, right? To automate gate check-in and check-out, to automate the inventory, much like our last sponsor, driving up and down the yard. You have a camera on the side of the spotter unit that is confirming the position, condition, and location of each one of these assets. Now, that's kind of what's happened. That's where we're at right now. And as you can see, the market's moving that way. Not everybody's into Gartner. I'm into Gartner. And this is just kind of going over some of the top logistics priorities you see and top 8 tech trends that we're seeing this year. And it's all, as you can see, focused on, process improvement, cost optimization, some green initiatives that are in there, but mainly around AI and machine learning, right? Decision intelligence, being able to provide agentic AI workflows, be able to automate or augment your workforce. And something that I want to challenge everybody to think about is, when you're picking suppliers or partners in any tech space, you need to be able to think, okay, hey, we're picking this vendor now, but are they purpose built and ready for the future? Can they, in this world that's continuously evolving and changing, can they be our partner for the next couple of decades, right? And that's what we're seeking to do here at Terminal. We imagine a lights out yard, right? A yard where a yard operating system such as ourselves is the brain, and we're conducting and working alongside, the physical assets of the yard, whether that take the form of autonomous trucks, humanoid robots, drones, conducting them, providing them missions and tasks, rising exceptions up to users so they can do exception handling, providing the eyes so that we can see what's going on in the yard, and raising any exceptions up to users. And all of this needs to be enabled through a business model that is flexible, modular, and scalable so that you can get the effects across your entire network, right? So that the same system that is servicing your largest, most complex facility can also scale down and serve your smallest facility in a cost-minded way. So that's what we're providing. And based off of current, user feedback and reports from our customers, what we're currently seeing right now is a 50% plus improvement in data accuracy, and combine that with a 50% improvement plus with throughput improvement. And that's not something that you get, right? If you want somebody traditionally to increase throughput, well, hey, you got to work faster, right? And if you want somebody to work faster, they're prone to making more errors. So you don't get that data accuracy, and there's downstream consequences to that. And if you want to, get better reduction in errors, then they have to work slower, right? And so our solution aims to empower the user, use AI in meaningful ways that enable operators to do more with less and save the company money. So that's a little bit about us.
I'm based in Chicago, and I am the CEO and founder of Stock. Stock is a company that makes donation as easy as e-com fulfillment. So what I'll give you some facts about it and a little bit of background, and we'll go from there. Did you know that there are 4 million brands that sell on Shopify? Okay. And 90% of those brands will go out of business in the first 3 to 4 years. That's 3.6 million brands that will manufacture goods, put it on the ocean, bring it over here to the US, put it in a warehouse with one of the 20,000 3PLs that are here in the US, and then go out of business and leave that inventory with their 3PL. 1 pallet, 6 pallets, 12 pallets, 6 truckloads, whatever that might be. Now, the 3PL naturally is not in the business of selling that inventory. And so they are throwing away $163 billion worth of perfectly good, untouched, unused inventory every single year, which is very sad. And they have currently great options for liquidation and great options for disposal. They can call Waste Management and say, give me a dumpster, back it up to door 52, and we're going to throw these pallets away. Or they can call one of the many liquidators that are out there, and they can, go for 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 12 weeks back and forth on pricing and providing samples, and they can return 8 to 12% of the value. And so we brought stock to the market to give them a third option for that excess inventory, for that abandoned inventory. And we wanted to make donation as easy as possible. So with that, you can see here we have 3 use cases. The original use case was born from abandoned inventory, and I'll talk a little bit about how I got there personally. But we also handle overstock for very healthy brands, right? We have Portland Leather Goods and Rover, Chalkline Apparel and Fourth Wall, etc., who are not going out of business. They're one of the lucky 10% that will survive on Shopify for another few years, but they also have anywhere from 8 to 15% of excess inventory at any given time. So we help them donate as well. And then, of course, the returns use case. So when we were born in the space of unused upstream inventory, but we also do provide donation opportunities for return goods as well. You can see here our product verticals. We will donate literally anything. 23% is apparel, naturally, health and beauty, health and nutrition, beauty, home and garden, food and beverage, etc. The way it works is the brand or the 3PL places an order in their WMS. We import that order detail information, SKU quantity, and we list it in our private marketplace. We have the 1.5 million nonprofits in the US then shop that inventory, which there's an algorithm that shows them inventory specific to their physical location, their capacity, and also their mission. Once there's a match made, whoever listed it, 3PL or the brand, can approve that match. There's also plenty of business rules that where if they don't want to do approvals, they don't have to, but they can approve that match. And then we handle the logistics of moving all of that inventory to the nonprofit. So we provide either a BOL or shipping labels to the 3PL. The transportation is fully paid for by the nonprofit, and then the inventory is moved, and the nonprofit then provides a tax receipt to the brand or the 3PL, who gets the tax benefits of donation over disposal, and the narrative that they're doing better for the world and for the people on the planet. So you can see here, like I said, there's tons of configurable business rules around what nonprofits can receive the product, if it can be split shipped, if it needs to stay local, if the nonprofit has a thrift store or not, blah, 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 right? And then also when I say we list literally anything, we've listed some very crazy stuff over the years, and everything has been donated. You can find a nonprofit for anything. We've done 180 gallons of Dr. Pepper in the bladder. We've done OEM RV parts. We've done beverages that are non-alcoholic but have THC in them. We've done it's endless, plenty of good stories. So as I mentioned, there are lots of different nonprofits that we work with as well. So yeah, that is the pitch. I'll save everybody a little bit of time.
I don't think saving time is like an important component here because it's quite interesting. Can you elaborate on, did I hear you right when you said, with my little chicken biscuit cracker in hand right now?
Looks good.
It's really delicious. It's not turkey flavored, but turkey might work out. It's chicken flavored. So did I hear you say that the 3PL can create an order for that inventory, and then that is what they can push via EDI API or something like that into your marketplace? Can you like dive into that?
Yeah,
a little
so you can do CSV upload. We can do an integration if you want to do an integration. Most often we would see a CSV upload. The lister or the 3PL or the brand has the ability to go as high level as 12 pallets of apparel. They don't need imaging. They don't need SKU quantity. They don't need to see, say, male, female, shirt, pant, whatever. Or they can go as detailed as providing every single thing from the manufacturer to images of the product to SKU description, quantity, all of that. So it's really just dependent on how integrated they want to be and how much detail they want to give. If that answers your question.
Yeah, I definitely misunderstood. I was imagining an order, like, an order that you pick, but you just you go manually create an order.
They do.
No,
they can.
You're like,
okay. We have Flexport, Cart, Stored, Chipmunk, and they all do it differently. Like Chipmunk will literally just take an image of the order details and upload that. Whereas like Flexport will do a CSV. Others, to your point, if we do an integration, we can do an API call. We can pull the actual order details from WMS.
That's kind of crazy.
But usually, like if it's the warehouse that's doing the removal of the inventory, they're not going to place an order. They just kind of tell us what's there. They'll say like, oh, we have 12 pallets of cosmetics, blah, blah, blah. But yes, which is one of the reasons why the tagline is like, make it as easy as e-com fulfillment. Because if you're a brand and you're working with your 3PL, you can create a manual order just like you would if you were sending an influencer box or you were going to a conference and you wanted to send a bunch of stuff or like whatever, right? They create manual orders for stuff all the time. So they essentially just create a manual order that's a donation order. And then we take that information and that's how we list for the nonprofits to be able to shop and look at the stuff and decide if they want it or not.
Yeah, amazing. I gotta say, like how great is this? What Abby's done. I think it's fantastic to be able to save this stuff from going to landfills, etc. I mean, it's pretty wild. Like when you really understand what happens to some of this stuff, and then to serve the nonprofits, right, and give them things that are good and can help people out there too. I think is an amazing thing. So kudos. I mean,
I'll sit in on some of the nonprofit onboardings and I still get like goosebumps every time we onboard a new nonprofit. I'm like, oh my God, I love their mission. It's so great. The work they do is amazing. It's like, makes you feel very good every single time and that you can help them. It's win-win-win across the board.
Amazing. Yeah. Yes, definitely. Fantastic stuff.